Hey guys, Peter Uda here. Welcome to this segment. Today I'm going to talk about some weird facts about ABO blood types. Why is it so weird? There are some things that you may not already know that I'm going to reveal. And after that, I'm going to talk about different personality types for main temperaments tied to different blood types. You may not already know, but in the 1930s, the Japanese embarked upon a study to come up with an ideal soldier, and they used blood type to try to type the soldiers and classify them. So I'm going to talk about that. And finally, if you haven't already discovered what your blood type is, I'm going to give you a tip that will allow you to get your blood type for free. Let's go ahead and get started. 8 interesting facts about ABO blood types. Number 1, there are 8 blood types. You probably already know that. They include AB positive, AB negative, O positive, O negative, A positive, A negative, B positive, A, B negative, and the most common one, guess which one it is? If you say O plus, you're correct. By far the most common one. Actually, there's a closer one to it, AB plus. Among US population, the most common blood type is the O plus at 37.4%, followed by A plus at 35.7%. The rarest one is the AB negative at 0.6%. Interesting, isn't it? And this is according to the Stanford School of Medicine Blood Center. It's a university that has a college that studies medicine, so you're gonna take their word for it. They backed it up with research, so that's believable. Alright, number 2, almost half of all blood orders daily by hospitals is type O. And most emergency appeals for blood donors nationally is because of blood type O shortage. Interesting. Number 3, O negative are universal donors. They can donate to anybody, even though they're not very common among the population. They're known to be universal donors. Number 4, ideal frequency. The recommended frequency for blood donation is 56 days. This gives your body the opportunity to replenish the blood that has been sucked out of you in your previous donation. So you have 28 days twice for your body to rebuild and be ready for another donation. Number 5, in a 2012 Harvard University study, it was discovered that people with non-O, let me repeat, non-O blood type have high risk of cardiovascular disease. And specifically, the AB plus blood types has about 23% higher risk than the O blood types. Number 6, type O blood have thinnest blood, strongest immune system, strongest stomach acids. Warning, type O blood, make sure you eat your 3 square meal. Why am I saying this? The acid in your stomach is so strong it will start digesting the linings of your stomach as soon as there's no food to digest. So make sure you eat your 3 square meal, you give there's something to work on. The type O bloods are also prone to digestive disorders, arthritis, and thyroid due to the high functionality of the immune system. The thyroid, they tend to develop thyroid problem. Is more common in them. Not all of them develop that, but it's more common among these blood types. And they live the longest among all types. I would take that over anything else, anytime. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty good trade-off. Fact number 7. The most common blood type among people of Indian subcontinent and Asian Americans, guess what? If you say B+, you're correct. Number 8. In the 1930s, the Japanese military investigated the connection between blood types and personality in a quest to create ideal soldiers. Did they get it? Let's find out. That brings me to my next topic, the theories of personality types and how they match to blood types. So this was a popular study that the Japanese did, and is also common in Korea and many parts of Far East Asia. So they came up with a bunch of theories to classify personalities based on their temperaments and match them to blood types. So these are theories. Let me make it very clear. It's not these are not based on fact, but based on social observations. Some may be complete, some are not. If you say something like somebody is too sensitive or irresponsible, it doesn't mean they're always irresponsible. But once in a while, we've all done irresponsible things in our life, right? So when you hear those things, they are not written in stone. They're just general characteristics. So let's get to personality types and how they match the blood types. Now, the first temperament we're going to talk about is associated with type A blood. They're called the farmers. Why are they called the farmers? Because they have good traits that involve being calm, being loyal, being gentle, being organized, being perfectionist in everything they do, or almost all of it, and being consistent. On the negative side of it, they can be too earnest. I don't mean honest, but earnest. They can be stubborn. They can be fastidious. They can be obsessive, and they can be too sensitive. Some famous people we know that mark into this farmer temperament, the type A blood, include George H.W. Bush, who passed away recently. May his soul rest in peace. Britney Spears, Adolf Hitler, Richard Nixon, Ringo Starr, and Jet Li. Now, let's look at type B blood. They are called the hunters based on their temperament. And what makes them the hunters? Let's look at the good traits. They're known to be strong, creative. They are very creative human beings. They are cheerful. They are expressive. They are hardworking, and they can be individualistic. On the negative side, they can be moody, erratic, forgetful, impatient, insensitive, and sometimes irresponsible. Examples of famous people we know that fall into this category. Remember, I said these are theories, not stone cold facts. Examples would be Leonardo DiCaprio of popular movie that we've watched, the Titanic. Jack Nicholson, Luciano Pavarotti, Tom Selleck, Paul McCartney, ambition. That brings us to the next category of temperament, type AB blood, the humanists. Why are they called the humanists? Let's look at their good traits to see if they earn that level. They're known to be cool, caring, rational, charming, controlled, and dependable. Does that describe a humanist? You decide. On the negative side, they can be critical, dualistic, forgetful, indecisive, unforgiving, irresponsible. Remember, we said these are theories based on observation. It doesn't mean every one of them have all these traits in them. Examples of famous people associated with that: Thomas Edison, Mick Jagger, Barack Obama, John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, Jackie Chan. Interesting. Now that leads us to the warriors, the warrior temperament, the type O blood. What makes them the warrior? The warriors of the society. Let's see if they earn that level. Good traits in them include being honest, energetic, ambitious, confident, optimistic, and passionate. On the negative side, they can be vain, they can be envious, they can be doubtful, tend to be skeptics. They can be arrogant, they can be workaholics, and they can be unpredictable. Some famous personality types that we know or we can guess associated with this includes Paul Newman, John Lennon, Prince Charles, Al Capone, Queen Elizabeth II, and Elvis Presley. These are examples. There are tons and tons of examples there. If you embark upon your own research and based on the temperament and what you observe from the early childhood to later development of an individual, you classify them into any of these theories. That's wonderful. So you can do your own research and back it up with your observations. Now, those are the 4 temperaments. Now, we talked about the 8 facts about ABO blood types, and we've talked about the 4 temperaments, the hunters, which we know to be type B blood, their good traits and the bad traits. We talked about the farmers, the type A blood, their good traits and the bad trait, the negative. I'm going to use the word negative traits. No, praise. And the humanists, the type AB blood, the good traits and the negative traits. The warriors, the positives and the negatives. The warriors we've already labeled as blood type O. Alright. So, with that said, I'm going to reveal to you what I promised earlier. If you don't already know your blood type, here's a big secret. Anytime you donate blood, if you go by Red Cross and you donate blood, they're going to give you a paper that contains your blood type. It's a good deal, isn't it? So if you don't already know and you don't want to go to a lab or somewhere to pay money for it, free way to do it, go and donate blood. They give you a paper that shows your blood type. I hope you find that information interesting and useful. And if you do, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe Feel free to send me your comments or questions. I'll be glad to address. Send me your comments, your questions, or any ideas that you may have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.